I mean we can stay forever. All we have to do is to keep on being what she thinks we are.
Charming, you mean?
No. Decent, honest, sober, and hardworking.
And just what do you mean by that?
I mean, darling, no funny business with the cards. No running up bills, no brandy. And you, Rick, will have to look for a job and take the Saab with you.
Oh, really?
Sounds too busy. And for what? No sooner do we do all this than she'll up and die, and then we're out. Unless...
Unless what?
Unless she makes a will.
Exactly. And there's not only the house, there's Mr. Dickey's entire fortune. If we've ever had a chance at a permanent solution, this is it.
How cute of you, Georgia.
I'm game. I'll be a grandson of the old gal if she kills us both.
For the sake of all of you, I am prepared to make any sacrifice.
You don't have to worry about me, John. I won't be lonely anymore. I've found friends.
Retired Indian Army officer with no previous business experience seeks important position of trust. Finest social references if desired. Colonel Anthony Carlton, etc., etc.
Oh, I say, supposing some blighter should answer this.
Si, what a ghastly idea.
I know.
Sounds good. Well, where shall it be today, Father? Want to see the mummies again?
Oh, mummies are a bit dead, don't you think, for such a beautiful day?
Yeah. National Gallery?
Painting? No. No, it's time, my son. You saw life in the raw. Interesting phenomenon, that.
What?
That mechano set.
The what?
Well, that thingamabob.
Oh, yeah.
There he goes again. But look at all those little fellows down there. On my soul, I don't see what pleasure they get out of it.
Still, that little fellow over there looks rather sincere.
You think so?
Hmm.
He picks up a sack from that pile, carries it over and puts it on that pile. And he goes back for another.
Well, he must get some enjoyment out of it. But on the other hand, I don't see what he's after in life. I don't see his reasoning.
No reasoning involved, my boy. Instinct, biology. Something tells him to carry the little sacks back and forth, and so he has to do it.
I see what you mean.
Interesting problem, isn't it? Capital, labor, classes, masses, no jobs, no leadership. Huh. I wish I were younger, my boy.
Lunch. High time, too. A hard morning.
I saw your father's advertisement in the newspaper.
Oh, of course.
I do not understand it.
Why, it's perfectly clear, isn't it?
When your father advertises for a position, it is not clear, Georgian. In fact, it is very, very suspicious. I do not like the look of it.
Why not? The Saab wants a position, and
What are you doing in this house, anyway?
Miss Fortune was grateful to us for helping her in the wreck. So she invited us to stay with her. She's lonely.
She must also be very rich.
And now I think you'd better go. I'm terribly busy and...
You're also terribly fidgety, Georgiana.
Fidgety? What a silly idea.
And now you're toozling your hair.
I'm not toozling my hair.
And now you're losing your temper, Georgiana.
I told you I'm simply busy, and I wish you'd please go.
I will as soon as you tell me why your father advertised for a position.
Because he wants one. He's out all day looking for one, every day.
He's very well known in Algiers, of Mandalay. He's the captain of London's Algiers.
Is that you, Saab?
Yes, my dear.
Did you have a successful day, darling?
Very successful, yes. Enjoyed the digging very much. Richard couldn't tear himself away.
You remember Mr. McCrae.
Well, upon my soul. Delighted to see you again, my boy. What did you say the name was?
McCrae, Duncan McCrae.
Ah, yes.
I understand you have been looking for a position, sir.
You've been looking all over London, haven't you, Saab?
I'm not ashamed to admit it. Not a stone unturned. Ready to accept anything. Anything. Forget dignity and all that, you know. Soldiers trained to take the bad with the good, and vice versa.
Perhaps I can be of service, then.
Yes.
I have found you an excellent position, sir.
I beg your pardon?
You see, I happened to run across your advertisement.
Indeed.
But that's wonderful, isn't it, Saab? What is the position?
It's with a motor company run by friends of mine. They need salesmen. Your father seems to have all the necessary qualifications. No previous business experience, finest social references.
Oh, I think that's splendid, Duncan.
Just one moment.
I can't tell you how we appreciate it.
Just a minute, dear.
And now poor Saab won't have to keep
Halt!
looking.
Very friendly of you, my boy, very. But I'm afraid my capacities are entirely unsuited.
Oh, Saab, you know you have capacities for anything.
In that case, sir, if you will report at the Wombat sales room at 9 o'clock in the morning. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I do not believe your father has any intention of taking the position at all.
Why, what an amusing idea.
I do not think you're amused, and I do not think you're grateful.
But if you really want to know what I think, Duncan, I think now that you know where we live, it would be very nice if you'd stay away from here altogether.
Aye, once and for all.
Insolent young puppy.
I detest him, always muddling things up. But you're going to take the job, Saab.
What? Georgiana, you promised me that under no circumstances would I have to go to work.
Sorry, darling. But now we have to prove we're on the level to everyone. And stop toozling your hair!
Trapped, by gad.
$9 o'clock? I'm afraid so, Sahib.
Well, I'll never forget the pleasant days we've spent.
We never did half the things we planned to do.
Too late now, I'm afraid.
I wish we could at least have got to the aquarium.
Some future time, perhaps. Never know. Well,
Won't be the same without you, Sahib.
nice of you to say so, my boy. It's you, too. Not much good at farewell.
I know, Father. I'll walk a little nearer with you.
Thank you, my boy. Goodbye, my boy.
Goodbye, Father.
Don't be too lonely.
I'll try.
Well, better go in. Huh?
What is it, Sahib?
Tell your mother, my boy. Tell your mother.
you sure you're quite comfortable?
Quite comfortable. Do you mind?
You planning to stay long?
I hadn't. Now that I see you again,
You've never seen me before.
I've seen you all my life. In my dreams.
That's not a very good line.
No. Well, you see, I'm so darn tired.
Why come to me?
Well, I was walking along and suddenly an unseen spirit grabbed me by the arm and led me straight up here to you. It's kismet. Now, you think that means we have to marry each other? If you're not otherwise engaged, of course.
I do not. And I can't make up my mind whether you're a lunatic or merely very young.
I'm neither. I'm just lonely.
I see. What can you do besides look rather too good looking?
Well, I'm a champion swimmer, a rattling good game of tennis, fair golf, and I rumba like the angel Gabriel.
Did you happen to notice the name of this organization?
No, to be frank with you, I never had a job before, and I felt it might spoil my impulse.
This is the British American Civil and Hydraulic Engineering Company.
Oh, I see. And you're the American, huh? Well, don't hydraulic engineers ever rumba?
Rarely and not well.
It seems to me that I shall be filling a crying need. You know, I really think I'll enjoy working here. I like the atmosphere of the place.
The atmosphere is strictly business.
Which is what I like. I begin to see what I've missed. You know, if I made up my mind to it, I could become an engineer very shortly.
And it takes some of them years.
Did anyone ever tell you that you had the most...
Yes, often. You don't know the first thing about engineering, do you?
Oh, what's there to it? It all comes down to one man saying to another man, well, make up your mind. Do you want to buy a bridge or don't you want to buy a bridge?
I've never met a man before who's never had a job.
I should think it'd intrigue you, make you want to see what you could make of it.
All right. We need someone to sort the mail. £2 a week. Come back in the morning, 8 o'clock.
I'm yours to command. You couldn't make it 9 o'clock, could you?
8 o'clock. Good day.
There. Oh, could you come out with me later for a spot of supper? I like to pay my obligations.
Can you pay for the supper?
Oh, now that you mention it, I'm afraid I can't.
In that case, I'll wait till your first payday.
There.
She pretty?
Come see, come ça.
Is she intelligent?
She typewrites well.
Is she fun?
She's a business gal.
There must be something about her for you to take her out.
There is. She's my boss. And it's a very sound policy, my child, to keep in the good graces of one's boss.
Has she a lot of money?
I've no idea. I rather think not.
Guess whom I ran into today?
I couldn't possibly imagine. Who?
Adela Jennings.
Adela?
Mm-hmm. She's just arrived in town and wants you to have tea with her.
Where's she stopping?
The Ritz?
Oh, I must ring her up sometime.
Might be a good idea. Perhaps her daddy's not in town.
Well, even if he isn't, we're pretty well set now without her.
We're not set at all.
Certainly we are. The old lady's more in love with us every day. And she's not getting any younger, you know.
I haven't heard any talk of a will yet.
Fact is, I don't think we'll have to wait for a will. She's bound to come through with something soon.
She hasn't, though.
The aged are slow, my child, just as the young are foolish and impatient. We can count on her, and so we don't need any more Adlers in our lives. Either of us.
Do you really believe that, Rick?
I do, my child. Does this tie look all right?
Oh, that's better.